Hi, this is Heidi from Flutter by Heidi again with just another quick project for you. This time I've done a little box for 3 little mini jam jars. You see the nice little ribbon with a little tag on the front of it, and then the one end is sealed but the other end just opens and you can fit 3 little jars. So I've got marmalade, honey and a jam here, but you can get all sorts in these little jars now, and just makes a nice little thank you gift for somebody or something to pop with it. So I'm going to make the next one in a slightly different colour but using the same designer series paper, that's DSP, and this is going to use Hello Honey cardstock. And to start off with, you need a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 by 10 inches, and you're going to score the card at the long side at 1/2 inch, 2 1/4 inches, 7 3/4 inches and 9.5 inches, and then turn and score the short again at 1/2 inch, 2 1/4 inches, 4 inches and 5 3/4 inches. So having scored your card, what we're going to do now is fold and burnish those lines. And that just makes it nice and crisp. And the other way as well. And then we're going to do some trimming. So what you're going to do is, with the short edge at the top, other way around. So these are going to be your side flaps, and this is where you're going to join it. And the first thing you're going to do is trim the long strips from the side here. Okay. Now the next one is going to be your folding flap, because that's going to be your top. So trim down both of these and just trim so it's kind of 3/4, I find, because that way you get a nice overlap on the flap without it interfering too much, giving too much bulk. The next one comes out, and then again the next one about 3/4, and those 2 flaps just cut a tiny sliver out of either side as well. And then you're going to repeat that on the other side. So if you turn, so with the other side you can see exactly what it is. So cut up, and that's our 3/4 with a strip off either side. The next one is coming out completely, so cut up and cut away. The next one again is a 3/4, and then the final one, I'm just going to trim a tiny bit off the end of the flap on both ends. I forgot to do that on the other one. And you could use a corner rounder for that instead if you wanted, up to you. I usually keep these bits because they're great for punching circles. We'll use one of those a little later, and then the other scraps. So what you've got now then is your card done, and you're now going to need to cut the DSP for it, and I'm using this one here, which is from the English Garden series, and you're going to be cutting it first of all to 5 1/4. So I've got a 6-inch square here, so cut to 5 1/4, and then I'm going to cut 3 pieces then, which are 1 5/8 each. So So put the trimmer to one side. So you've got 3 pieces. I'm going to stick those now to a card. And just for speed, I'm going to use tape runner. Now for the one that's going to go on the front, because we're going to be punching some holes out of it, I'm actually going to put that, put some glue right down the middle as well. Okay, so it's down like so. And you're going to be putting it on the front and the back. You'll see here I've put a piece on the front and a piece on the back. I haven't put one underneath. You can if you want. And likewise you could also ink around the edges if you wanted to. Then on the end piece as well there. Okay. So, put your DSP in place. Now we're going to actually do the circles. Now, the way you could put some discs using your post-it notes on there, but I do find with circles it's a little bit more tricky, so I'm just going to actually mark the centre points. So I'm going to make three midpoints, one at 7/8 of an inch, one at 2 3/4, and one at 4 1/2. And then the midpoint is 7/8, so I'm just going to put, so I've got a little, almost like a little sort of right angle shape. And I just found, I tried it with the circles and I didn't quite get it right. And I found this worked better. So now that I've done that, I'm going to use the 1-inch punch and fold this flap in, and then just with your eye I'm going to line it up. Now I don't know whether you can see it here, but there's some writing on the bottom here, and that's kind of giving me a line, and so is the Stampin' Up image. So that's kind of says to me, as long as I get the other one in the middle, that gives me a bit of a visual on where to line it up. Okay, and then same on the last one. Okay, so punched our 3 circles. So you can see it's just taken a little bit off the edge there. That's fine. And I'm going to use some, you can either use fast fuse or, as I do find whenever I'm doing boxes, I do prefer to use good old red tape. It is very much personal preference. The fuse is fantastic, but I just find that with boxes, it's probably because what I've always got used to. So just fold up, and then on one end, it doesn't actually matter which end, just put a small piece on the end there. Fold the flaps in, and then just ease that in and press close. So there we go, got our box. Now all that we do now, pop our jars in there, and you see they just line up in the middle there. And so that's our box complete. Now obviously very nice, but it doesn't quite, needs a bit of finishing off. So I'm actually going to use some of the new Hello Honey striped cotton ribbon. So all I'm going to do is just do a knot. So just a nice flat knot, so right over, left over right. And then right over left. It gives you a nice flat knot. Then you just trim the ends. So there's your nice ribbon, and that has the advantage of it stops that end coming out because they're quite heavy and they move about. And then all it needs now is a nice little bit of stamping just to finish it off. And I'm using a little something set. It's actually a really useful set to put, because you've got sentiments that are suitable for all sorts of occasions. If you're into Halloween, you've got a trick or treat and some spiders. But snowflakes, love, peace, joy, I used that one the other day. Thinking of you, this one coordinates with the new pillow box as well, pillow box dies, some autumn leaves. And I'm using a little something for you, which is lovely to go on some treats. I'm going to use a bit of garden green ink here, because garden green is one of the colours in the DSP set. So just stamp that down. Then using the punch, which I've obviously put away. Right, 1 1/4 inch punch. It literally just fits in, and with those 2 little flourishes you can quite easily space it. So that's punched. Then using one of those little bits of Hello Honey, and this is the 1 3/8 punch. Then all we need to do is a bit of glue on the back there. Little something for you, and this time I'm actually going to put it on here, but with a dimensional, just to pop it up, and I'm actually going to take a dimensional and cut it in half so that it sits either side of the ribbon. So, or you can use the little half pieces around the outside, but by just doing that you see it leaves a nice channel for the ribbon. And there you go, nice little gift for someone, just as a little thank you for you. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.